The universe should not exist. I do not mean this in a sense, I mean it in a real sense. In the fraction of a second after the Big Bang, matter and antimatter were created in perfect symmetry. When they touched, they annihilated each other, releasing light. This process should have continued until nothing was left. No stars, no planets, no people. Just an endless ocean of radiation and silence. Something went wrong. A tiny glitch in the code of reality, small, it is almost impossible to believe. For every billion particles of antimatter, there were 1,000,000,001 particles of matter. This single survivor, this rounding error is why we are alive today. We are the leftovers of an annihilation, the universe's backup file that never got deleted. Nobody knows what saved us. Today, we are going to the place on Earth where scientists are trying to find the answer. They are creating antimatter, trapping it in cages, and measuring it with great precision. Because somewhere inside the behavior of antimatter lies the reason why everything did not become nothing. Imagine a particle as a ripple on an infinite sea, a crest of matter, a trough of antimatter. When they meet, they cancel each other out, releasing all their energy in a flash. If the early universe had been perfectly balanced, that sea would be flat and dead. The cosmic microwave background tells us how close we came to total annihilation. What is left? The stars, the galaxies. The feeling of being alive is the excess. The 1 in a billion that did not have a partner to kill. The asymmetry between matter and antimatter is our origin story. What broke this symmetry? For decades, physicists have suspected a difference in behavior between matter and antimatter, something so subtle it escaped the first violent moments of creation. The problem is, our best theories cannot explain it. The standard model predicts some bias. It is not enough. Something else tipped the balance. That thing might be hiding in the faintest vibration of an antiproton. The only way to find it is to go to the place where antimatter is born again. We are inside Cern, the world's particle physics laboratory. We are not here for the famous Large Hadron Collider. We are here for the antimatter factory, a place that harvests the fragments of particle collisions. The process is very inefficient. Protons are fired into a metal target, releasing a storm of particles. Only a tiny fraction become antiprotons. Scientists then slow them down, capture them, and bottle them in a vacuum. The substance they produce is the expensive material in history, tens of trillions of dollars per gram. In the entire existence of this factory, we have made barely enough to power a light bulb for a few hours. You are about to see the trap, a device called a penning trap. It uses fields to suspend a handful of antiprotons in perfect isolation. On a monitor, a physicist shows me the signal. A dip in a frequency. It is the proof that around 100 antiprotons alive inside, oscillating in their invisible cage. They are real. They are fragile. They are whispering secrets. What if I told you that these same particles are now being loaded onto trucks and driven down highways? It sounds like a movie. It is real. In a project called Base Step, scientists have built an antimatter trap that can transport antiprotons across the continent. The plan is to drive them to built labs with ultra-quiet magnetic environments. Because to hear the universe's imbalance, you need absolute silence. Why does this matter for our existence? Because the symmetry they are testing says that matter and antimatter should be identical in every property, just mirrored. If that symmetry breaks, it would rewrite physics. It would be the crack in reality that let escape the purge. The Base experiment has measured the antiproton's properties to an uncertainty of 16 parts per trillion. Still no difference. The identity holds, the mystery deepens. There is another possibility. Not all particles have an anti-self. Some may be their opposite. Deep inside a mountain in Italy, the Legend experiment is looking for a decay That would prove that the neutrino is its own antiparticle. That would be a Majorana particle, a thing that can annihilate itself. Such a discovery could rewrite the universe's story, giving matter a hidden path to survival. But here is the part that almost nobody talks about. The search is not about antimatter, it is about us. Every atom in your body was forged in that near miss. You are the outlier that consciousness built its home on. The universe tried to kill itself and failed. Barely. Now, eons later, the pattern of that failure has become curious enough to look back at its own beginning and ask, why did I not die? That is the vertigo of this science. We are the exception staring at the rule and finding it terrifying. The antimatter factory is a machine that recreates the moments of time in miniature, hoping to find the flaw in the mirror. We trap the fleeting way the transport annihilation on a truck. Every measurement gets us closer to the edge, where our knowledge fails. If we finally find that tiny sacred asymmetry, we will have found the reason that anything exists at all. Until then, we live in the gap between a perfect symmetry and the fact of our own breath. We are the one in a billion that got left behind. The silence that should have been everything is still waiting for an answer.